I'm finishing college and sorting out the last details so I can go back home, packing my bags, putting all my belongings into boxes. I'm not nearly as sad as the other graduates. Don't get me wrong, I loved college, made few but good friends here, dated a couple of girls. Hell, I even got drunk a few times. That was new for me, but I sure missed my hometown a lot. I've grown up with a single mom, and she'd been rather protective throughout my childhood and teen years, even though she worried a lot about my safety and well-being. She was a ray of sunshine in my life. I'd never really had an extensive group of friends, besides some kids I sat with at lunch in school. I did have one good friend though, Luke. My mom liked him and thought he was a nice kid, but she wouldn't allow me to have him over. She would say our home was our safe place, whatever that meant. So we would hang out at his place or go to the park in the afternoon. That was one of the tamest set of rules. As loving as caring my mom is, looking back, she did instill some weird pillars in me. For instance, there were no mirrors in our home, not even in the bathroom. No talking about our home life. She is a private person and would shy away from neighbors. As far as I know, she didn't have any friends and wouldn't talk to anyone except for myself. She would also just disappear for some time. I learned pretty early on how to cook and clean, and I'd do so when she wasn't home. I would never hear the front door open or close though. One minute she would be sitting on the couch, and the next I was completely alone. Of course, this was something I respected. After all, she took care of a child by herself, so I understood that she needed time to think and go for a walk now and then. She was a stay-at-home mom, so we were pretty close until I moved to college, 3 hours away. She was sad she couldn't drive me there, so it was quite a hassle for an 18-year-old to move all her life to another city on her own. Luke did help with fitting everything inside my small Beetle, and I was grateful for his help. Still, she would call every week and we would tell each other what we had been up to. She had grown distant this last year though. It was gradual at first. She told me that I shouldn't visit on the holidays and stay in the campus as to embrace the experience. I did go back against her wishes on Christmas of my first year, and she was thrilled to have me back. But then I fell into routine and just stopped visiting altogether. Maybe that's why I was so excited to go back home. She was my best friend after all. We don't have any other family members. She got contact with her parents pretty early in her life, and she was an only child. As to my dad, as far as I know, he was a deadbeat that abandoned us when I was born. She didn't like to talk about him, and she never dated anyone afterwards. She kept to herself mostly. She'd walk with me to school every morning and pick me up after football. That was our little ritual. We'd laugh about our days and she'd make sure that I was well integrated and happy. My mom called a couple of days ago. I told her how happy I was to be back home, but her enthusiasm wasn't nearly as palpable as mine. She was rather sad. Now that you finish your degree, you have to live your life. You don't need me anymore. I remember how she shuddered with the last sentence, and that broke my heart. I love her deeply. We only have each other, and she is without a doubt the most caring and beautiful soul I've ever met. I remember when I came out to her. Sweetie, I just want you to be happy. It's not important what that happiness looks like, as long as I know you're okay and safe. I couldn't have asked for a better parent. As I sit in my dorm bed for the last time, I grab my phone and fidget with it for a bit. I don't want to bother Luke, but it would be helpful if he could come and fit a few boxes in his car. He has a van and a single trip would be great. Luke stayed in our hometown to take care of his dad. He had a stroke on our last year of high school. I remember it clear as day. His call, the trip in the cab to the hospital. He's the youngest son. His two brothers were already married and living with their families. So Luke chose to give up his full scholarship, and instead he had been running the family business for a few years now. I know he's pretty busy these days, but I still gave it a try. I press call and wait. I miss his smile and contagious energy. I'm actually hoping he can make it, so I can show him around for a bit and have him meet my friend group. Hey Chloe, how are you? I smile. He sounds tired, but his voice is as cheerful as ever. Look, how's everything going? Look, it's totally fine if you say no, but do you think it could help you with the moving? Absolutely. Haven't seen you in a few months, kid. I have so much to tell you. I think I'll propose to Anna. His voice got a few notes higher as we said the word propose. What? I almost shouted. Anna is his high school sweetheart. She's an amazing girl, and I couldn't be more thrilled to see them build a future together. I'm so happy for you. Get your ass over here. We have to plan the details of that proposal. He laughed and I could tell he was smiling. Sounds like a plan. How's tomorrow morning? I could be there at 12 p.m. I hesitated before answering. Actually, you think you could come any earlier? I really wanted to have lunch with my mother. She thinks I'm coming in a few days, so I thought I'd surprise her. Luke scoffed. Come on, Chloe. Did you have a lot to drink tonight? You got wilder in college, god damn it. I'm regretting not going to uni now. What? I'm confused. Luke knows how important my mother is to me. He knows how much I miss her. We've talked about it before. I'm sure of it. For real, I mean it. You know, I've always been a mama's girl. Chloe, what are you talking about? Your mom? What's her name? Her name? Come on, you know it, her name is... My thought process trailed off completely. I've always called her mom. I can't remember her name. Now that I think about it, she was always just mom to me. You know who she is, Luke? She'd take me to school every day. Chloe, no. I'm completely sure you'd walk alone to school. I remember waiting for you at the gate in the mornings. Is he joking? And she was right there with me. Don't you remember? She had long hair and that was about it. Besides the long dark hair, I couldn't remember any of her features. I know she has the kindest eyes I've ever seen, but I can't picture the color or the shape. I know she's beautiful and tall, but there's only fog when I try to imagine her face. My lip quivers ever so slightly. I'm worried about you. His voice is lower now. I can sense how lost he is. I lived with her for 18 years, but I can't remember anything about her looks. I don't know what's happening to me. I'm scared. Chloe, you lived alone in that old house for as long as I've known you. We always thought there was a grandparent there, but I never thought to ask because I thought it was a sensitive subject. I've had that talk with my parents. I'm sorry. Maybe I should have been there for you. I know it's hard, but you have to come to terms with reality. There was never any mom. You're an orphan. I'm not so sure about going back home now.